All right, join us now on Inside TBT, head coach of the Ace League All-Stars, former NBA player, NBA champion, Mo Speights. Welcome to the show.
Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for having me on here. I'm excited for the show.
Absolutely. We're excited to have you, Mo. We start just about every interview now when we're having guys on for the first time with a pretty simple question. What do you know about TBT, man? How involved have you been in the past? How locked in have you been in the past? What are your thoughts on the tournament?
The tournament is a great platform for like those borderline guys who have opportunity to go to the NBA or even good deals overseas. So y'all guys put together a great platform that you plan for something. Every game could be your last game. So it's fun, man. I've been paying attention to it the last 4 or 5 years. I was teammates with Kyle Falk in China. He always just talked about it. I think he won 3 in a row or something.
Yep.
But it's a good platform, man. I'm excited to be a part of it. Hopefully, I know we'll make some noise for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, the Ace League All-Stars, you're trying to get in. We want to ask you about the team, but first question, why aren't you suiting up yourself?
That's crazy because Jim Will asked me. I was like, nah, I already coach. You know what I mean, I want to coach it. I'm in coaching now. I coach my academy, so I already let the young guys do it and have fun out there and play. So it's just fun, man, being able to coach and teach the younger players the game of basketball the right way.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your squad, some of the guys, how it all came together. Tell us about the Ace League All-Stars.
No, the GM Will, man, great guy. He had one of the best programs in the country, and that's Ace League in Orlando. And Orlando is a hub of a lot of good basketball players. So he came up with the idea maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, and he's been on ever since. We probably had 8 workouts already. You see what I'm saying? A lot of players are still overseas, but he asked me, do I want to play? I was like, nah, I'll be a coach though. And he's like, all right, cool. We made that happen. But the players we got on the team, they work hard, man. Great guys, and it's great people at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit about the roster? You guys got a lot of guys on the roster, but maybe like 1 or 2 guys that people got to watch out for.
Well, everybody knows. No, everybody don't know, but Hassani, he played for the Magic a little bit this year. In G League with the Lakeland Magic, a guard that's really athletic, really smart, and got a chance, I think, to make the NBA. I think it's a platform that is able to help him get to where he really want to go, so people could see him. Great kid, great family person. Then I say Quincy Ford, a 6'9" kid, a 6'9" player that's able to play 4 positions if you need him to. Smart guy. He went to the University of Northeastern. Just got done with his season, but he's very versatile and just a high IQ guy that's going to help us big time.
Well, seems like you guys got a solid squad. Obviously, our fingers are crossed for you guys to get you guys in and so you guys can make some noise, but we would be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about Mo Speights and your basketball career that got you to the point to where you're coaching in TBT. I know Andrew's got a bunch of questions. I have a bunch of questions. My first question for you, and I ask a lot of former NBA guys that we talk about this, before we dive into a lot of the games, who were some of your favorite teammates that you got to play with?
Man, I got a list of them, man. I got a lot of them, man. I'll just give you my top 5 of them. Andre Iguodala, Lou Will, Sean Livingston, Barbosa, and probably Clay.
So if I'm hearing this correctly, do you hate Steph Curry? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm saying outside of basketball, like just an everyday basis, like going to each other's house, like me and Clay hung out a lot. And then I was playing with Iggy when I was in Philly for 4 years too. So I've been knowing him the longest.
So that's very cool.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Steph Curry is the first guy that we think of and everybody thinks of. You got to have one crazy story, shooting story. The first time you saw him go nuclear, it's got to be some fun story with him.
Every day. Like every day, I'm always shocked about how hard he worked, the time he put on his craft, and see everybody be like, "How you making that shot? How you making this shot?" The guy work out 45 minutes every day after practice with somebody guarding him. So that stuff he do in the game is everyday thing with him. So that's the thing I respect about him. Like I didn't want to put him in the list because everybody think I'll be biased by doing that. But it's like for me, with the best player in the world is all. I love Michael Jordan, so it's kind of like the same boat with Steph, that being one of my favorite teammates.
So Steph, Clay, Iggy, they all got a chance to win another championship tonight. If you're listening to this, it's probably they had a chance to win the championship last night. But my question to you is, what are these guys feeling right now? I mean, it's the day of a potential championship clinching game. You have been there. How are they feeling right now?
Honestly, like those guys, man, they relax right now. What time is it? What time is the game? Nah, they relax right now. They probably just getting up from their nap or eating their pregame meal or whatever, about to head to get on the bus. So all day it's kind of like a relaxed atmosphere, but like locked in atmosphere too, though. So the guys gonna be locked in, playing that hostile environment. Boston got a hostile environment over there, so they're gonna be ready to play, man. Hopefully.
Where were some of your favorite places to play on the road? Obviously, Boston is known as one of the greatest environments. But what were some of your favorite places?
I say Boston is one of them. New York, of course, New York, LA, Oklahoma City, Portland in the playoffs, and Miami.
What's the most underrated? I got a two-part question: underrated fan base, and then also underrated city as an NBA player on a Saturday night if you're not traveling right after the game.
So you saying like the overrated? Like when you say overrated, I mean underrated.
Underrated. Like, so underrated city, as in like when you go there, like that's a really cool sports town. Like their fans are great; they don't get enough credit. And then also like everyone thinks of Miami and LA and Chicago as the places that NBA guys like to have a good time after a win or the night before a game or whatever. What's an underrated city for that as well?
The first question you asked about overrated place that people love the game, I'd say Portland. Portland is really nice, especially when it's great weather out there. They loud, the fans love everything about it. So I say Portland. But the best city like to hang out, underrated, I'd say one of those Texas teams. I mean, one of those Texas like Houston or Dallas, one of those. Great places.
All right.
Atlanta.
I've been to Atlanta. I don't think Atlanta's underrated.
I know it's not.
Oh, so I want to ask you this, and you might get mad at me after I ask you this question, but we got to ask it. So I'm a LeBron guy. Right. All right. So obviously you've been to the highest mountaintops championship. You also were on the unfortunate end of the 3-1 lead blow, historic. Can you talk a little bit about like what the locker room was like after that game?
So honestly, like the whole situation, if we all think back to it, I know half of the locker room didn't think we was going to get to the finals because we was down 3-1 to OKC. OKC being the best team was in the NBA that year. That everybody thought it was over. You know what I mean? And truthfully, some of the guys in the locker room was like, there's no way we're going to beat these guys. Then we get to the finals. Guys is beat up now because we had to come back from 3-1. Guys is beat up, bogeyed out, and all that different kind of stuff, man, went down with that 3-1. That after the game, honestly, it wasn't too much emotional. Everybody was mad, but it wasn't too much like you would think because guys know like it's been a long season. Guys are chasing the record. The first half of the season, we wasn't really playing good basketball. We just was so game. We know how to win games, just beating people instead of playing really basketball. So it really caught up with us when we got to the finals. That we probably relaxed and they came back. You know what I mean? Got to respect those guys over there. But the same playoffs, Steph Curry almost broke his neck. Clay was out. You know what I mean? There's a There was a lot of things going. There was a lot of stuff going on that year, and still can't take away that 73 wins though.
Well, Mo, I'm not a LeBron guy. I'm from Chicago. I'm MJ. I just so happen to go to Ohio State. LeBron likes Ohio State. We're sponsored by Ohio State. Whatever, that's fine. I love LeBron for that, but I'm not a LeBron guy. I'm MJ, so I will steer us away from that and bring us back to more on you specifically. I think this is a question that you probably don't get asked a ton, but I'm curious your thoughts on as the NBA kind of advances into, 5 guys out there that can shoot threes. They're shooting more threes. You were one of the first of, this new age big man, right? Where you were stepping out, making plays, shooting threes, stretch 4, stretch 5, whatever you wanted to call you. How do you feel about how the game's advanced? Like, do you coach that way? Do you feel like you started like kind of like a revolution, especially with the Warriors?
No, it was just I always able to shoot, but as a big guy, growing up, you shoot the ball, you get in trouble. Especially,
right.
You know what I mean? So those guys over there, Coach Kerr, Coach Alvin Gentry, those guys like, Mo, shoot the three. So I started shooting the 3, but like around the time when I started, I think Brook Lopez maybe was shooting threes, and that was about it. Other than like Rasheed Wallace and all that, and that's what was one of my favorite players was Rasheed Wallace. So I feel like I was one of the bigs that started shooting threes, but I won't take the prop. I don't need the prop for it. But the game of basketball now is definitely trending to the right direction of everybody being skilled on the court. And that's what life is. If y'all look at what's going on in real life, these younger kids is getting smarter and smarter because of technology. You see what I'm saying? So with the TBT and my post-grad team, we definitely going to be playing something like it. I can't really reveal everything to y'all because hopefully we'll be playing in it, but we're going to be playing fun. It's going to be fun to watch for sure. Kind of like them that blue and yellow team coming on tonight.
All right. I got one final question for you. We asked Trevor Booker the same thing. You've played on a bunch of teams with a bunch of different guys. We asked Trevor Booker what his favorite moment as an NBA player was. He said his backward shot with the half a second on the shot clock. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah, but my question to you, do you have what is your moment that sticks out when someone's like, give me your best story from when you played in the NBA?
Jeez. Probably my rookie year. One of them. I got a couple, but probably my rookie year when like I said, Rasheed Wallace was one of my favorite players growing up. So I used to always watch him. We playing in Detroit. Somebody got hurt. So I go out there and warm up hard. You go out and warm up, then you come back in the locker room, have a meeting, then go out. So I come back in the locker room and get ready for the game, put my stuff on. Coach Mo Chiefs like, Mo, you starting tonight. I said, oh my God, that was one of the best feelings ever that I'll be starting against one of my favorite players, and I respect that decision. It was fun though. I think we did win that game too. Like Marshall hit some big threes. And then one more was me and Lou Will. We left. We just had beat the Lakers. Iguodala hit a last-second shot, so we leaving. We had the vending machine after the game, just standing over there. Kobe came up and spoke to both of us. I was like, oh shit, that was real. Like, I think it's like my second year in the league. That was the first time I ever felt like starstruck, kind of like, and that never happens to me. But I was like, oh, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'll say those two.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Mo, we appreciate you coming on here. The way we end every interview on our show is we turn the tables on you. It's a segment that's sponsored by our presenting sponsor, Brain Fuel. And we basically turn the tables on you and allow you the floor to interview us. So any questions that you have could be about anything. Could be about basketball. Could be about life. It could be about anything. It's your show. So ask away.
All right. What made y'all want to be a part of the TBT?
Ooh, I don't know if we've ever been asked that. That's a good question.
Yeah.
So I can tell you the real simple answer. The simple answer is we have an Ohio State podcast because Joey played at Ohio State. We have an Ohio State podcast, Ohio State basketball podcast, and the season got canceled. because of COVID. When March Madness got canceled, NBA was shut down until the bubble. And we were like, what the hell are we going to do? And we were like, why don't we reach out to TBT and see if they need a podcast? So the answer is we had nothing else to do. And there you go. 3 years later, we're interviewing Mo Speights. So I think we did something right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, like, I was involved with the TBT before Andrew a little bit, just because the guys had reached out to me about starting an Ohio State team. I had really no hand in helping make the team that eventually won the championship, which is pretty funny, but I was involved, like, you know, tweeting for them and going to the games or whatever, and just developed a great relationship with the guys over at TBT. And it's just so fun because, you know, you get it. The guys that you were rooting for as a kid, watching them play college basketball, you're getting to see them play again, all together again. So it's just, there's nothing better than TBT, seeing players that you haven't seen in years play on the court. And then, you know, you can love the NBA as much as you want, like, but no one's playing harder than the guys playing TBT. It's just a matter. It's just, that's just the truth of the matter. So watching great basketball and seeing guys that are literally fighting for their basketball lives out there, there's just something really special about it.
For sure. What's the last one?
All right. You can ask as many as you want.
What's the requirements y'all see that to make the TBT get even bigger? What do y'all want to see more of to make the TBT get bigger? Is it guys like myself coaching teams, or a team full of retired guys? Like, what is something that y'all look forward to seeing that can make the TBT bigger?
I think me and Andrew have talked about it a little bit. The next step, and it's kind of starting this year, is getting guys who are draft eligible to play in the TBT. You know, like getting guys who, you know, maybe they left college early and they're a fringe first round, second round pick, or maybe even just a fringe draft pick in general, or guys who left and are slated to get drafted in the NBA, but they can come to the TBT, play in the TBT, and raise their draft stock even higher. I think that that's a cool next step. I mean, we have guys in the TBT this year that are playing for that overtime elite team. Like they are even younger than guys that I'm talking about. I'm talking about guys who just graduated, made a run in March Madness, and are now playing on a team before they're drafted. These guys still have another year before they can get drafted. So seeing guys like, you know, Travion
Chris
Williams
Likes.
for Purdue. Well, yeah, like Chris Likes, but like Travion Williams for Purdue, who he's an incredible college player. If he's playing on the Purdue alumni team and they make a deep run, like maybe he goes from being a fringe second round pick to a fringe first round pick, you know? So stuff like that. I think that would be pretty cool to see guys like that playing the TBT, and it'll come with time. I mean, it's obviously, you know, better than we do. It's scary to do anything when you have the draft sitting there right in front of you. But if you find guys that really have no fear of tanking their stock or getting injured or anything like that, which you could get injured in a workout, right? It's no different than playing the game. So, yeah, that's what I think would be really cool to see happen in the next few years.
Yeah, I think it would also be cool, like you were saying, like if guys, you know, all these guys have their AAU programs and their camps and stuff. Like it would be cool if they put together a team that was behind their AAU program's name or whatever, like Brad Beal, if he did like Real Deal Beal or whatever his team is. Or what would be great is guys who are just fresh out of the NBA. Like maybe they're, you know, retiring from the NBA per se, but it's been a month since the season ended. They're still ready to go. Like, hey, I still want to play competitive basketball. I don't want to sign up for another year of training camp and weights and all that stuff. So both sides of it, like Joey's saying, like the youngest guys possible. And then also like, hey, the veterans that still want to compete. Like Joe Johnson has played, Trevor Booker's playing again this year. There's a bunch of guys. Wish you were playing, man.
No, I like coaching. I like being on that sideline.
All right, fair enough. Well, this has been great. Anything else you want to get out there before we let you go?
No, I appreciate y'all, man. Hopefully y'all see us in the TBT. You got a exciting team and exciting GM that's putting a lot of content out all the time, and just should be fun, man.
Absolutely. Well, you're now officially a friend of the program. You're welcome back on the show whenever you want. If you see anything in TBT this summer that you want to talk about, hit the DMs and you can come on the show and talk about it.
I bet, man. Appreciate y'all for sure.
Absolutely, man. Take care. Good luck to your Dubs tonight.
Clocking out early, that's the dish I don't like. Been getting paid since I was riding on the bike. Hit the pedal with the 8th, hopping on the 9th flight. I've been basement. I'm anxious in the real world. It's time for me to say this. The basics, the talent in my mind, I can't waste it. My life is too safe. It's my time for risk taking. I'm baking my mind every day. It's the same ish. Lazy, my grind needs to get a new facelift. Coming from the underground and busting through the pavement. Rock with it and lean with it. My team winning. My team winning. Now rock with it and lean with it. My team turn up when I spit it. Now rock with it and lean with it. My team winning. My team winning. Now rock with it and lean with it. My team turn up when I spit it. Don't think that I'm playing because I'm saving the game, and I said that I will be more because oh yeah, that is so raving, racing and pacing.